your body can only take so much damage before you start to break down completely. Yeah.
I think you're the only runner I've ever met that told me that I dance on the side to cross train.
The wind is hitting my face. The the sound of my footsteps is like music. That's what the runner's high is to me. Get to it.
Let's get to it. Yes, yes. Are you ready?
No.
I'm not also. Don't worry. It's all improvise. All right. Hey everyone, Mathieu here, and welcome to another episode of Everyday Heroes, the podcast to celebrate the athletes all around us that prove that greatness comes from the common days. This was created with the hope to make us all realize that we have all something extraordinary in us, and all we need sometimes is the example of others to make us realize it. This is the place for the everyday athletes to tell their stories and hopefully inspire you to do great things on your own. And today I am with Edgar. Hello, Edgar.
Hi everyone.
A poet and one of the fastest runner in the Lisbon running ecosystem. He is also an inspiration for many people to push themselves out and to be better. And he is always there to give people advices and to support them during the race. Hi.
As much as I can. Yeah.
How is the presentation? Good?
Presentation was pretty good.
Okay, well, I
You
try.
didn't miss anything, so
Good. Last weekend, you ran the marathon. It was race weekend all over in Lisbon. How did it go for you?
it went really well, even though it wasn't perfect. Um, just everything from the start to the middle of the race was incredible. The energy around the marathon runners, around the crowds at the half marathon mark was unbelievable. After that, oh my God. Oh, that was rough. After it, the second half it started pretty well, full of energy still. Everyone was on pace. There were still people around me. We were all basically running together at around 4-minute pace. And then you get to 32, 33. You see people dropping off. You see people getting cramps, throwing up. You get to the water stations and you see less and less water bottles. And your energy just starts going down and down and down. And there's very few people to support you. Well, general crowds. I had some people who were there for me throughout the entire course, which was absolutely spectacular. And I would not have been able to do it without them, for sure. But I hit the wall. I hit the wall at 38 really hard.
What was it like? Then a fueling problem that you had, or a gut problem?
I think it was a fueling problem. Yeah. I was planning to take on at least 5 gels for the entire race. In a perfect scenario, 6. But by the third gel, my stomach was basically seized up. It wasn't doing anything. I felt the entire weight of it while I was running. And so taking in another gel would have been incredibly hard for me. So by the time that I got to 38, I was running on, I don't know how much salt I took. It was a lot. And only 3 gels, so 100, 120
Yeah,
grams
so
of
not
carbs.
that much then.
Not
Yeah.
not that much. No, I was 2.5 hours in. I had zero energy. My body completely forced me to stop, even though I didn't want to. Yeah.
And for the people hearing it, when you refer to the marathon wall, it usually refers to the point in long distance where your energy significantly drops and you don't
Yep.
have the energy to keep on going, which is why fueling is so much important for long distance races. And you did test out your fueling strategy before, and you did test out your gel, right?
Yep. For 2.5 months, I took the same gels at the same timings. Everything was the same. And in some runs, I would have issues. In other runs, I would not have any issues whatsoever. So I came to the marathon thinking, okay, even if it doesn't go perfectly well with the fueling, I'll still have enough to cover the distance. But
Yeah, sometimes unexpected things happened, right?
oh yeah,
Because that's a very good advice that you gave. Testing out your fueling strategy is absolutely crucial. But even with this, sometimes, well, things can go wrong a little bit.
yeah.
Speaking of which, how did you cope with this kind of unsatisfying experience? Because you were expecting a better time. How did you process this? Because I don't see you as being that much disappointed in the end.
No, I'm not disappointed at all. It was my first marathon. I only hit the wall at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Uh, I mean, what else? What else could I expect? Yes, I was on course to run 2:51, which would be insane. But 2:57 is still incredible.
Yeah. I was about to say this first marathon, 2:57. I don't know if that happens for a lot of people. Congrats, anyway.
Thank you.
How did you train for it? Because I checked a little bit your Strava. Yeah, you would think I would. 120 kilometers at the peak, sort of.
Yeah.
So a lot of training volume. Can you share with us how you like with a little bit of details how you train for it?
Okay. So in general, it was 3 workouts a week, one of them being a long run. So on Tuesday, I would do a tempo run, which is a run around my marathon pace with a cool down and a warm up. Well, warm up and cool down.
Can you explain what is a tempo run?
Okay. A tempo run for me, because this varies throughout the entire
I think
ecosystem of
so.
running,
It varies a lot.
it's a hard run that is controllable. It's not a threshold run. A threshold run is a run at a pace that you can maintain for an hour, while a tempo run is a bit more varied in terms of pace.
Right.
It's difficult, but not impossible.
But so just to precise a little bit, so it's you are not talking about intervals.
No,
Okay,
not
just to
intervals.
be we are all on the same page. Okay.
Yeah. So, one tempo run on Tuesday, track intervals on Thursday, and my track intervals progressed from speed focused in the first few weeks to 5K pace, 10K pace in the next few weeks, and then sub threshold and threshold in the last few weeks to get myself ready for the marathon.
So only 3 runs a week?
No, the rest would be easy runs.
Okay. So you're talking about
I mean workouts.
yeah. Okay, I see. So
Yeah.
one tempo, one interval,
And long run.
long run.
Yeah.
How did you increase the training load over the weeks?
Steadily. Before I started my marathon block, I had just gotten injured. I had a problem in my right calf due to too much intensity in my training, not enough recovery. After getting that fixed at the physio and getting suggested a ton of exercises to strengthen it, I started my block very conservatively. Base phase, no pressure, nothing super intense, just slowly increasing my mileage until a point where I thought, okay, I can start adding workouts in and I can keep this mileage per week without injuring myself.
Okay, so very very interesting. Because I want you mentioned a few interesting things, so I want to come back to it. So you got injured. Um, what made you think caused the injury, and how did you recover from it, and what lesson have you learned?
Ooh, okay. What I learned from the injury was that your body can only take so much damage before you start to break down completely. And you can push through it for a while, but the more you do, the more injured you're going to get eventually. So be careful. Don't do that. You think your body can handle stuff, and it can, but then it pays the price later.
Yeah, definitely. All right. And how do you do now to get stay away from injuries?
A lot of strength work, a lot of cross training. especially with dancing, which is basically the type of dancing that I do is essentially plyometrics.
Ah, okay,
So
interesting.
it keeps my tendons strong.
I think,
Yeah.
I think you're the only runner I've ever met that told me that I dance on the side to cross train.
But it works. It's still like it's almost zone 2, zone 3 exercise for an hour and a half, and you're basically jumping around the entire time.
Yeah, it's plyometry in the end. Well,
Yeah.
I guess if it's working, why not? I want to come back a little bit to the training. How did you distribute your intensity between low intensity, high intensity, and middle average intensity?
Okay. I didn't have much middle intensity in my training. It was mostly hard workouts and easy runs. The thing is, easy runs are supposed to be very easy and not, okay, this is easy for my heart rate. I'm still in zone 2, but my legs are taking a beating. Um, I've had runs where I was at a fast pace in zone 2, but I would still feel incredibly tired by the end of them simply because my legs were going too fast. They weren't actually recovering when they should be. And then you would get to your next workout and it would go a bit below your expectations and you would wonder why. Oh, okay, maybe the easy run that I did yesterday wasn't easy enough because my legs weren't ready for the workout.
Do you think this problem is coming from running with a group?
No.
Where because this is usually what I feel is whenever you are running with a group, you get carried away by the group pace, and you don't want to be the last, even though it's supposed to be your easy run. You don't want to be last. Like I'm speaking for myself for idiot ego reason, which I shouldn't. So for you, it's not the problem. What
No,
is it
it's
then?
not because every time you go to a group run, there's always someone slower than you who's going for a PR. Almost always. And if you just join them while they're running, motivate them while you're doing your easy run, it makes it much easier for you and for them to get their PR. So in those situations, just join someone who's slower than you, motivate them um, to continue their run, and you get an easy run. They get a hard run. They might beat their PR
Everyone
with your
wins.
motivation, and it's win-win for everyone.
Fantastic. Um, Whenever I interview people about running, I think I've never mentioned the technique aspect of it. Is for you technique important? And or do you think only running naturally improve it?
Technique is important. This is something that I haven't studied yet, so I don't know much about it. But the way that you run, especially for your injuries and for injury prevention, is important. However, everyone has a different way that they run, and that specific their specific stride is adapted to their body. So sure, there are small modifications that they can make to make their stride better, more efficient, and less injury prone. But you don't want to fundamentally change how you run. That's the way that I see it.
Yeah, I agree that this is also a cause of injury, I think, is when people think their stride is not good. So instead of doing maybe drills to, try to work on this, they consciously try to modify their stride while running. So, doing like a certain footsteps or whatever. And it feels very not natural for the body. And, it's just like, what is it? I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know what's happening.
And you're
Yeah.
putting pressure on different muscles that you're not
Yeah.
used to be applying when you're running. So it only increases your chances of injury.
Yeah, for sure. Hey guys, I am an endurance coach and I train runners to complete their first trail injury free. Everyday Heroes is the podcast, but it's also a private coaching tailored to you and based on science. For a limited time, I offer you a free call to help you build your training plan. The link is in the description. And now back to the episode. You are, as I describe you, exceptionally fast. How do you work on your speed? Like, and how could you? What advice would you give to people that want to get faster? Not, I'm not talking about sprint fast. I'm talking about being faster on long distance.
Well, usually the formula for athletes is 2 workouts a week, a long run, and as much mileage as you can handle. However, if you're starting at a point where you're, say, running 2-3 times a week, and you want to race, say, a 5K, a 10K, it's your first race, or you're trying to get better at those distances, just add one hard run and keep the other runs easy.
All right. So in the end, it's the correct distribution of intensity with um, a few hard runs. So we are talking about intervals most of the time, and most of the other runs easy, like
Yep.
very very easy, right? To build up the mileage to make your body adapt gently, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. And cross training as well. If you have a bike, whether it's slow or fast. If you can swim.
Yeah. In the end, the more time you spend doing a cardio activity, the better. The problem, and you mentioned it with cross training, is if you only do run, you might get an injury. Whereas if you do low impact sports such as cycling or swimming, you don't have the impact. So you can still make your body work without the risk of injury. However,
100.
I want to add this. This cannot replace running because you need specificity with your training. But very good point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very wait, let me go back. I'm lost with my question now. Right. You shared with me a difficult moment you had back then a few years ago with sports when you quit tennis years ago because of pressure. You choose to stop competing instead of facing your fear of failure. What have you learned from this?
This is going to take a few moments.
Take your time.
I think the fear of failure kept me from really trying my hardest in matches when I was playing tennis. I was a teenager back then, so I didn't know that much about psychology or the way that I worked, essentially. But I would go into a match and I would feel like I had to win, otherwise bad things would happen. And so that fear would paralyze me. I would try to serve wouldn't go in. Second serve wouldn't go in. I would play almost as if I didn't want to win. I just wanted to get through the match. Now, when I line up to race, I know that I'm trying to break my own record. I know that I'm trying to race other people and beat other people. But at the core of it, I just want to have fun doing it. It's about the feeling that it gives me when I'm competing and not the end result, regardless of whether it's a good result or a bad one.
I think that's super wise because I also have to learn from you on this regard because sometimes when I race, I do it to break PRs, and the pressure is taking over the feeling of pleasure one should have at the core when you race. Because in the end, that's why we all race. It's also to enjoy it, have a good time, and you can see on the half marathon picture that well, if I show it to you, my pictures, I am not smiling. I am in the pain cave. Compared to you, I saw that you were having fun even though you had problems. So that's really impressive, honestly, to be able to get to keep this feeling even through the pain.
And it's interesting because the more fun you have, the better you perform.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, because if you smile, if you have fun, you're gonna send to your brain a contradiction between the pain he's feeling over on the body and well, the feeling of pleasure that you are feeling. And so, he's like, what is it? Like, I am dying, but he seems to have fun.
Yeah.
So I guess it's cool. He can carry on. That's the way I see it.
Completely agree.
What advice could you tell to a beginner that wants to try out running?
Take it easy. Go for a run. You're probably not going to enjoy your first run. It's going to be really hard. Just get that in your mind. Running is not easy, but after I would say 5 or 6 runs, you're going to get it. There's going to be a moment where you experience runner's high, or you get to the end of the run and you think, "Oh, I just ran my first kilometer without stopping."
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
And I don't think I can describe the feeling of joy and accomplishment that it gives you, honestly.
Can you describe what is the runner high?
Ooh.
Because I think that varies from people.
Runner's high for me is essentially freedom. It's when I'm moving my body in a way where I don't have to think about it. I'm in the flow state. The wind is hitting my face. The sound of my footsteps is like music. That's what the runner's high is to me.
Beautiful. I must say.
It's a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
You should try running. If you don't run yet, try running.
Well, actually, great things, because I can feel through this answer that there is some thinking, some philosophy, some deepness behind, because you're also a poet, right? Can you share a poem that you wrote?
Ooh, I can. I have to read it out loud, but I can.
Okay, go for it. If it's not like a half an hour a poem.
No, don't worry. Okay, so I wrote this in October. It was near the last few weeks of it was the last week of training that I had before the marathon. I've never read a poem out loud.
Well, now is your chance.
Here we go. Why do my dreams include crimson red soil, the sound of footsteps stenciled tight, plastic bottles handed out a minivan, all this motion before sunrise? And not lattes on ice, packed cabin bags, sliding metal halos into fingers that don't fit right. And how much more do I need to sacrifice when it's no sacrifice at all? Because I know that what's left for me fits exactly like the ring. It doesn't fit. Why don't I dream of breaking tapes, but the quiet cup of coffee early morning after the hardest efforts? Working for satisfaction, no easy pleasures. She asked me if I had an idol. Truth be told, I didn't then. But I found his name starts with E, and he spent some time in Eton. Much has changed in 80 days. Who will I be at 42 and over? Don't even bother to speculate. Just wait until end of October.
Man, that's awesome.
Thank you.
It's the first time ever someone wrote a poem that is about running. I mean, as far as I know. Awesome, man.
I hope you've enjoyed it.
Now that the marathon is over, what are your next goals?
Okay. I have a few, as I always do. The end of this year and the start of next one is racing season for me. I want to run a very fast half marathon at the Descobrimentos half marathon.
So in a month from now, right?
Okay. Yeah. And I also want to beat my PRs on the 10K.
Which is?
Officially 35 minutes and 2 seconds. Yeah.
Well.
Is it going to be easy? No.
Do you think that 10K is harder than a marathon?
Ooh, no.
I think it is. Well, for the mind, it's so much more intense, I think.
It is more intense for sure. But at the same time, the mental energy that you consume in the marathon just to control everything that you're doing, from your pace to your breathing to your own thoughts. And you have to do that for, well, quadruple the distance. That's what makes it harder for me.
Okay, fair enough. So you know the concept of tier list ranking, right? Because you told me you're a gamer. So now is your chance.
Okay.
Take this. Don't stress out. It's fine. Take this also.
Ooh.
So the tier list is, well, let me remind me, is to rank the best race advice.
Okay.
Okay.
Best race advice.
So for the people who don't know, the tier list ranking goes from D tier, which is the worst, from S tier, which is like the best advice in this case that one can have or one can follow. Sorry.
Best race advice. Oh my God.
And well, hold on. And take this to pin this wherever you think it is best.
Got it. Okay. So let's read this out loud. First one. Following the pacer to not have to look at your watch. Valid strategy. Not a top tier strategy though. Sometimes you don't have pacers for the pace that you want to run.
Yeah, true.
A tier.
Okay. I think it's between B and A tiers, because if you rely on pacers, they can do mistakes. And also you can also have like a different pace a little bit, but they can do mistakes. What I find is the best, I didn't write it, is you write down on your arm, or you remember your passage time. Did you say passage time?
Splits.
Your splits, yeah. Like let's say kilometers 10, I should be around, I don't know, like 45 minutes in the race. And that's how, you can check that, all right, I'm following the pace, I'm too slow, or I'm too fast like this. Because even with the watch, sometimes it is a bit unreliable, because sometimes you accelerate, sometimes you go down. It's live pacing, so it can go wrong a little bit. So to me, that's the solid rock strategy, but it's not very convenient for sure.
Yeah. Honestly, for a short race, I usually memorize my splits, but then I get to the race and I forget about them.
So on paper, very, very useful.
On paper and on your arm. Don't memorize them. Put them somewhere you can see
I
them.
had this for the half on my arm, but like the last splits, I completely forgot about it.
Yeah. You're just so deep in the pain cave that you're not going to remember. Next one. What do we have here? Preparing your stuff the night before. S tier. Easily S tier. You don't forget anything. Make sure you have a checklist before. Check everything out the night or the afternoon before. Test your gear. Make sure that the bib is poised correctly on your singlet, shirt, whatever, shorts. Just test everything out.
Yeah.
This is S tier.
100% agree.
I'm not sure there's a best.
Because whatever technique you can find to take away some stress, do it.
Yep.
For sure.
Call your parents. Call your parents before your race. It's okay to consume new gels at aid station if you did not bring your own. Where's the trash can? Seriously. Don't try this unless you've had the gel before, okay? Because you don't want to get to, say, kilometer 30, be out of gels, try something new, and then suddenly you're somewhere in a bush or in a prototype.
But that's why I said in the sentence, if you didn't bring your own, because I think this is tricky. Because what could be the worst between getting gels that you haven't tried and then risking very bad stuff, or not fueling at all?
Usually, if it's a big race, you have bananas, you have orange peels, and oranges, not orange peels.
Yeah.
So those are preferable to trying a new gel, honestly, because you don't know what's going to happen with the gel. Even ones that you've tried before can give you bad reactions. So you can train with a gel for 3 months, and one of them can still mess you up.
Yeah, because that's one advice I said on Instagram before the race. Because this made me think when I went to get my bib, I saw all the stands with all the sponsors trying to sell their new gels or whatever. And I was thinking the amount of people that probably bought new gels for the race the next day. Nah, don't do this.
Yeah, don't do it.
No, no, no.
Don't do it. Unless you're buying the same brand that you always do.
Yeah, yeah, unless, of
Well,
course. Yeah.
not worth it. All right. Next, static stretching to warm up. D tier. Doesn't work.
Agree.
It does not
Agree.
work. It only stretches out your muscles, which is exactly what you don't need.
However, I precised static because if you do dynamic stretches, this is different. Basically, static stretching is when you hold the position for a few seconds with a huge and deep stretch, which you don't want before a race. Dynamic stretching is when essentially you do a dynamic movement as swinging the leg or I don't know, high knees or stuff like that. This is good.
You want to stimulate blood flow to the muscles before you start running. You do not want to stretch out your muscles before.
However, especially for the half, so hard to find the space to stretch because we are all starting on the bridge. There is just not enough space. I managed to be on the side and do some very short laps running, but that's it, honestly. But no, that's what you get
You're
when you do the
definitely right.
half.
That's why when I go to races, I usually arrive an hour before the race starts, so I can do all that, get the nerves out, and do a little warm up jog. Next,
Let's go.
drinking a wad of water at every aid station. Hmm,
Yeah, I know
C
this one
tier.
is tricky, I think.
It depends. How much water do you need, and how much water are you drinking? If you're drinking too much water at an aid station, your stomach is going to get bloated. You're going to slow down eventually. If you're drinking a lot of water because you need it, then that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. The idea, I think, is not to get too stressed out about, oh my God, I'm going to be dehydrated. You're going to be dehydrated anyway. But don't force yourself because if you get too much water, yeah, you're going to be bloated. It's going to be hard. Yeah.
You need water.
It's a question of
Take
balance.
water. Take sodium if it's a long race, but don't stress yourself out about, oh, I missed an aid station. I missed a water station. There's a next one coming up, and you'll.
Yeah. I'm taking out the subject of electrolyte. It's a bit different. That's why this question is only focused on only water. Yeah.
Good playlist equals faster pace, higher motivation. This is factually true. It's why elite athletes are banned from using headphones and competing with music. Every time you listen to a song, you get more dopamine in your brain. You feel better. And if you do that while you're racing, it genuinely gives you a speed boost.
I agree. I would just add this. It also depends on people. For example, I personally don't like to race with music, but it's for a different reason. It's because I like to be in the moment with, being able to capture everything, like people maybe running next to me, the music of the aid station if they have the cheer zone. But yeah, I do agree that if you have the right playlist, huge boost.
It definitely helps. Yep. I also stopped racing with music this year because, as you said, I also wanted to get in touch with the moment and how I was, where I was. Instead of music, I get hype from the crowd.
Yeah, that's what do you choose. But you can do also a split where you race half of the race without music, and then you ask someone to, all right, meet me at kilometers X, and give me my headphones and my phone, and then I finish the race with like the hard part of the race with music. That can
with
be also a
music.
valid strategy, I guess.
That definitely
Mm.
works. Yeah. Smile will get you through the pain. S tier.
Yeah, we talked about it, so yeah.
I mean, have you looked at Eliud Kipchoge? That man does not stop smiling
Yeah,
when it
wow.
gets hard. It's
It
unbelievable.
he makes it feel it's easy,
Hmm.
whereas he's probably dying inside.
Yeah, but it gets you through the hard part. Um, whenever you smile when you're racing, part of the pain disappears.
100%.
Not
Yeah,
everything,
100%.
not
Yeah.
all of it,
Yeah.
but part of it
Yeah.
is. Part of it gets much better. Yeah. S tier. Ooh, what do we have here? Running for fun, no time goal. S tier.
I agree 100%. Yeah.
You run for whatever reason
Yeah.
you want to run, whether it's for whether you want to race, or you just want to catch up with a friend, or you want to push yourself outside of a race, or you're doing it for your health, physically or mentally. Just run. It's any reason
Agree.
is
Yeah,
valid.
yeah. Sure.
And if you're someone who doesn't see why you would run without racing, what you love about running is just the competition and not the actual process of running.
Yeah. I think you could only run for pleasure and because you like it, and that's totally fine. But it's also good to have a little bit of balance if you want. It's just a matter of you can only run for fun. That's good. But I don't think you can only run for competition, because you are falling into the extreme and unhealthy category, I think. So it's a question of balance. You need to keep the idea of I'm running because I like it, because it gives me a feeling of freedom, of joy, whatever. It's important. Yeah.
100%. I think that if you run just to compete, you will get tired of the process because you don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
You don't enjoy waking up early to watch the sunrise when
Mm.
you run. You don't enjoy going to the track at night when it's raining. You won't enjoy all the running that you're doing when you're not racing. So make sure uh, that you find a way to enjoy all the training.
Yeah.
It's really
For
important.
sure.
Otherwise, you will burn out, just like with everything else. Getting paced by a friend, S plus tier. If there's
100%. I wish you could have paced me for those 2 kilometers.
I wish I had known the signal because
Wait.
I would have just started
Yeah,
running.
maybe just for the context. So Edgar um, was there for my health at some point. I saw him briefly, and he said something to me. Hey, do you want me to come run with me? I did not understand any of it because I was in the pain cave, and I was like, all right, cool. And I give him the peace sign, like, yeah, thanks for
Yep.
the support. And then, yeah, you understood, like, all right, he doesn't want me. He wants to focus on his race on his own. Whereas, no,
Yep.
I would have loved you to be there.
Well, that's one missed opportunity, but there will be more. So
Next time.
next time. S plus tier, getting paced by a friend.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
Yeah, because this is highly different from following a pacer from the race, because you have the support of this friend, and yeah, that's the biggest boost you can have. It's like having a cheer zone for yourself for the entire race. Like, go for it.
Yep. 100%. That is the best. The best thing you can have when you're racing is someone who's there for you, who ends you out, waters, gels if you need them,
Yeah,
anything
perfect.
to get you through it, and paces you. It's just, mm, mm. It's why elite athletes have pacers too.
Yeah, it is. So they can also take away some pressure, take away some focus, and only focus on the thing that matters.
Consuming more carbs than you did during training, the more, the better. Do you mean during a race?
Yeah, like let's say you were used to consume, I don't know, like 50 grams of carbs per hour, and then on the race day you think, all right, I'm gonna increase this for I don't know, 60 or 70 because now is the race day.
Okay. You are in love with a public toilet. Congratulations. D tier, if not F tier, if it existed.
Yeah. Because I think that that could be also something that people would think like, the more fuel, the more you are able to run. But yeah, that's not really how it works in the end.
In theory, that's true. The more fuel you take
Theory,
in,
yeah.
the more you can use. However, there's a little tiny thing called your stomach that may not be able to handle everything.
For sure.
So
D
that
tier.
could slow you down more than it speeds you up. D tier for sure.
Ooh, la, la, la,
Ooh.
la.
Wait, can I grab it? Brand new carbon shoes for speed. Brand new? Hmm. Okay.
That's a
This
tricky
one's
one. Yeah,
hard.
a tricky one. Huh?
If they're brand new, I would say C, because you need to test them out before at your race pace and at the distance or a long distance if you're running a half marathon or a marathon with them. Getting new shoes for race day, don't do it. Don't do it. You'll get blisters. And even if you don't get blisters, the shoes are actually not in prime condition for you, for your feet and for your body. You can get knee pain, you can get calf pain, hip pain, simply because the foam hasn't compressed enough for your feet. So C tier. Carbon shoes in general, amazing. I love them. I have 2 or 3 pairs that I want to use for future races. But new ones before race day, no. You need to test them out first.
Mm.
C tier.
I have a different opinion on carbon shoes, but overall,
Hmm.
I agree with the C tier category. Yeah.
Okay. What's the opinion?
That carbon shoes, there is also the placebo effects. And in the end, some studies have found that it's not that much the carbon itself that makes you faster. It's the foam that is lighter. And also it can you can shave off a few minutes, but if you are advanced, experienced, or elite, but if you are regular athletes, it's not that much of a difference. Basically, the longer sorry, I'm going to rephrase this. What they found out is the foam is the number one thing that makes you faster because the foam is lighter. It's not that much about the carbon. And the more the distance, the more you are able to shave off some seconds, some minutes. But there is also, yeah, this placebo effect that probably plays a role as well.
I mean, I would say most of the effect is mental, right?
Yeah.
Most of the effect is, okay, I'm putting on shoes that are designed to race. I feel fast in them,
But
and they're going to make me
no,
faster.
but this I agree, and it's also the same with consuming gel for let's say half marathon, because for shorter distance, that is basically above 1 hour 30. It varies between individuals, but essentially you have enough glycogen in your muscle to carry on. However, if you consume gel even for half marathon, this will give you the mental boost that you will need, and you can, yeah, it's a mental boost. I don't really how to explain this in English, but yeah, it's not about your glycogen reserve that are going low. It's more about your mind will take this as, all right, this is the nitro that I need.
Mhm. And I think I'm not sure if there was a study on this or if it was something observed through just experience. Whenever you take a gel at the, let's say, midpoint of a half marathon, more or less, the carbs that are that you get in your tongue, they have an impact on the energy
Yeah, yeah.
availability that you have.
It's funny because I listened to a podcast yesterday. It was 100% about that. But it was not really about gel, but it's kind of the same uh, process. Is before the race, if you can rinse your mouth with some kind of solution that is high with sugar, that will trigger some reaction in your brain, exactly the way you described. So probably there is also a similar feeling with consuming gel. But yeah, it's really interesting. But same as you, I think I need to dig more a little bit on this. Like, what is the mind's mental effect of consuming gel versus the actual physiological benefits that you get from it? But yeah,
But back to the carbon shoe thing. I honestly believe that carbon shoes make the most difference for slower runners than elite runners, because the studies have proved that in terms of efficiency, carbon shoes give you about 3 to 4%. It varies on the person. Some athletes will only get 1% improvement on their running economy. Some athletes will get 4%. Some athletes will get more.
yeah, but I know what you are going with. Like the longer distance, 1% over 4 hours, that's a lot. 1%
Yeah,
over 2 hours, if you are
exactly.
Kipchoge.
And 4% for someone who's running a marathon in 4 hours, it's a way bigger time gain than someone who's running a marathon in 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I would say, if you want to get a carbon shoe, they're expensive. Try them out first. See how they feel for you. And if you enjoy that feeling, yes, wear them at races. Doesn't matter what race time you're going for. Just the mental effect is enough. And the physical effect is yet to be proven, especially on an individual level. But there will probably be a little bit of an advantage for you.
And also, I want to add, yesterday I had Benjamin for the podcast, another runner in Lisbon. And he said something very interesting, that the sexier you feel, kind of the faster you are. And I kind of agree, because if you have running gear, so shoes or whatever, where you feel comfortable, you feel like you are putting on the race armor, then I think definitely there is some benefits out of it.
100%, it's
Yeah,
confidence.
confidence, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Last one.
I believe so.
All right.
Starting faster while you're fresh. Ooh, that depends on the distance to me. If it's a 5K, sure, start fast. You will want to catch up to someone who's starting fast, so you can run with them and keep their pace for the entirety of the race. If it's a longer race, even 10K, but mostly, let's say 15K, half marathon, start slow, please. You don't know how much energy you're going to have in the last third of the race, whatever the distance is. So this would be C tier.
I agree, yeah. Because there have been studies that have been conducted on the best um, pace strategy you can have during long distance race. So you can essentially either you start faster and then you decrease the speed over time, you maintain the same pace, or you start slower and you increase the pace, which is known as the negative split strategy. And this one has been proved to yield the best result on several individuals. And that could also probably be linked with the feeling you have when you are overpassing people, because you manage to save up your energy, and once you see that you are you say overtaking, not overtaking people, the feeling you have when you overtake people, like, it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm faster.
and it's the snowball
Yeah.
effect too. When you know that you're getting near the end of the race, the part where you start speeding up, you're overtaking people, and your pace is increasing, and you look at it, you feel so much better than if you start fast and you're just holding on to your pace until the end, suffering, suffering, suffering. Because there's a difference between suffering for okay, how do I explain this? There's a difference between suffering at a pace that you know you can keep and suffering to just hold on to the time that you've gained by starting fast. So I would say negative splits all the way.
Mm.
Of course, you have to take into consideration elevation, how long you're going to be running, uh, just the characteristics of the course itself. If it's a road race, okay, is there a part that's going to be not asphalt but Portuguese cobblestone, which lovely surface to race, by the way. Completely recommend it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
It-
agree. Yeah.
Negative splits are
Negative split, winning strategy most of the time. All right. We have, okay, so we have one more.
yes. Sticking to your pace strategy. I mean, it depends.
Really?
This
Okay. Why?
really depends
Okay.
because how you feel on the day, especially if this is a really a race that you really worked hard towards, it will affect how you pace yourself. For example, in the marathon on Saturday, I was really conservative with my splits, especially the first half, because I knew it had a ton of elevation. I knew that I would be essentially fueled by adrenaline and that I had to conserve energy for the second half. However, if you feel really good by the time you reach the halfway point or the last third of the race, you can go over your designated pace.
All right. So, in a nutshell, you can adapt, but be conservative and be careful. Mm. Yeah. Agree.
That's what I would do. A tier.
Agree. Yeah. There's still room for adaptation.
Always, because you can feel great on race day. You can also feel horrible on race day. You can
Yeah.
have a side stitch after the first kilometer, or you can trip and fall, and now you have to adjust everything.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, best advice. Number 1, getting paced by a friend.
Yeah.
100%. Number 2, running for fun, no time goal. 3, preparing your stuff the night before. 4, smile will get you through the pain. That's S tier. A tier, following the pacer to not have to look at your watch. Good playlist equals faster
Yeah.
pace. And sticking to your pace strategy.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Edgar, for those brilliant advices. Also, the one you gave before. Thank you. It was really interesting to have this talk with you, and it was a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. And thanks everyone for watching the episode. As always, if you liked it, please like, subscribe. And if you have any feedback, let me know in the comment. This is homemade, so of course there is plenty of room for myself to improve. And well, I'll see you next time. Bisous.
Bye. If you're not running, start running.